Once you have your composition notebook designed in Canva, and I just took pattern paper and a rectangle and then this little frame from the elements and put my title on it, then you're going to want to, you can either download it or you can use the this app over here for the design to image, and it'll put it into your uploads. Okay. So I did that, but because it's large, it takes quite a while. It's almost faster just to go over here and download it. And then you can either do it as a PNG or a JPEG. If it's complex and you want more detailing, then I would do the PNG. If it's transparent, that's not going to matter just because it's going to be printing on a sticker that's white anyway. So I would download it this way and then re-upload it into your images. And then I started a second design and I put it in here so that it's the size that I want, which is 7.5 by 9.75. And you can make sure that this is sized exactly by going to position. And then over here in the advanced, you can set the size of that image. So 7.5 by 9.75. And then I just gave myself some little guidelines for, mitering the corners. You don't have to do that. And then trimming these edges up here. It prints a little bit off, like this is a little bit too far out when you're ready to cut it. So if you don't want to waste the time to do that, don't worry about it. Then I would download it again as a PDF ready to print. Okay. And then when you actually open it in your print file, so I'm going to open mine again, and you do your Command P or whatever to print and you're ready to print, I would print it as actual size. Otherwise, Adobe or whatever your print software is going to kind of shrink your image down just a little bit and it won't fit your composition notebook. So make sure that you do actual size when you print it, and then go ahead and do your process of printing for whatever it is that you want to print it on. And then I will meet you back here to put it on the composition notebook. What I'm printing my designs on is this printable vinyl sticker paper for the inkjet or laser. And then I've got the premium holographic laminate sheets to put over the top. And I'm just putting it on a regular college ruled wide notebook or wide ruled notebook, composition notebook. Okay, nothing special, just the ones that you grab when you're school shopping. Okay, once you have it printed, then you're going to take your holographic paper and you're going to peel back just a corner of it, which may take me a second. Oh, there we go. And trim off or fold back like a section of it like this. This is what they call like a hinge fold or a hinge. I don't know what the rest of that is. I just know it's like a hinge way of getting your vinyl onto something, or in this case, this holographic sheet. So then you just line up your corners, kind of press it across. And then you want something that's going to help you kind of push across evenly and not start bubbles. So I'm just going to use this ruler wrapped with like one of those microfiber like screen cleaner things. And then you just pull on that hinge in the back as you press forward. Okay. So what this is doing is it's pushing the holographic down without as many bubbles and pulling off the backing at the same time. And then just kind of slide your ruler and your rag across the whole thing. And we're trimming this, so if it doesn't quite make it to your edges or it got a little crooked, it's not a big deal just because this is an overlay. Okay, and then we'll see if I can get this out of here without one second. So we have everything all covered, and I'm going to trim the edges on my cut lines there for my 45 to miter my quarters. And then if they're like, in this case, I got a little bit of the holographic hanging over, so I'm just going to trim that just a little to even that up. And so it's not catching on anything when I put it on my book. Okay, and then I want this back edge on my binding off. Now that we have that done, we're going to just do the exact same thing, and we're going to hinge it probably over here on this corner. I need to kind of figure out where I want to line things up. And then I think I set it so that this actually covers the black. So I'm just going to do the same thing and set up my hinge on this side and then pull it across this way. All right, so I have my hinge set up, and I've lined up my color right here with the edge of the book right here, and then the top up there. I might actually need to pull it just a little. Hopefully this vinyl stays stuck to the composition notebook, but well, it's older, so I'm not sure. And then I'm just going to start the same thing with my ruler. Okay, just kind of gives it more of a glide. And then I'm just going to pull on that hinge and start working my way across. Now that I have my front on and all my bubbles are worked out and I've got everything all nice and smooth, I'm just going to open it up and fold in my corners. You can see I did this one already. My miter is off a little bit, so I'm actually going to trim that myself, just so you don't get that buildup of like extra material there. And just fold it in, press it down. This will help your cover to stay, like your vinyl sticker or whatever it is that you're using for your cover. It'll help it to stay stuck to your notebook better too. And then if you have a corner edger rounder, you can trim those, or I'm just going to trim mine with scissors just to kind of match that rounded corner edge. And there you have it, a cute composition notebook from Canva to your notebook. If you wanted to, you could do a second one or put some like colored tape here on this binding, or do a backside. I'm not overly worried about it just because the color kind of matches where I've got the black and the dots and everything, but you can always do both sides of it too if you want to.